Well, thank you. I'm vlogging, yes. Thank you. Here we go, guys. Here begins the 14-hour layover at Dallas. It's currently around 8:40 p.m. So 14 hours, that's gonna put us around tomorrow's flight leaving around 10:30 in the morning tomorrow. Alrighty, good morning, guys. Man, I am still really tired. Alrighty, guys, so we ended up just getting a room here at the Grand Hyatt Hotel. This is a pretty nice hotel, and I've enjoyed to stay here, but I really just didn't get great sleep because last night was pretty rough, had a lot to get done. But nonetheless, this was a nice hotel experience here, definitely a pretty good one. And now it is about time to head out and go back through security again and get ready to get on that plane to go all the way to Guatemala. So today is going to be a pretty cool day. Alrighty, here is our flight. Looks like we're going to be flying on a Boeing craft today. Looks to be a 737. It's going to be a fun flight, I think. It should be about 3 hours. So this is the room, guys. Walking on in, as you can see, got a nice little seating setup with a little TV right in here. Pretty nice, this little setup to sit and chill. And then next to that, you've got a full-size kitchen with, of course, a dining setup and a little bit of a bar. Got a full stainless steel sink and a nice, it looks like electric cooktop. So this is a full kitchen with a refrigerator as well. From there, guys, we've got a corridor with 2 different bedrooms. So starting off to the left here, we have the master suite. Here in the master suite, as you guys can see, of course, you do get a TV and then, of course, also a dresser. Plus, looks like you're getting a full-size king bed. Always nice to see that. Little fireplace in the corner. I actually quite like the charm that these little fireplaces have. And then in addition to that, obviously the master room does come with a bathroom that has a bathtub and then also a sink, of course. And then lastly, guys, heading out of the master bedroom, you have a second bathroom in here, and then next to that you have the secondary bedroom, which it looks like actually has 2 full-size beds. That's always nice to see. So 2 actual double beds in here, pretty nice. And then again you get a TV, plus you get 2 separate closet spaces. They just don't design those well at all. We're gonna have to blur that out.
Here we go.
Good morning, guys. Here we are. It is beautiful here at the hotel this morning. And today we are going to be heading out into town officially. We're going to be taking a look at all of the amazing architecture. We're going to be seeing lots of Spanish colonial architecture. We're also going to be seeing a lot of Baroque architecture. A lot of the cathedrals and churches up here use that. We're going to be seeing lots of beautiful stuff. And today is going to be a beautiful day out here in Antigua. There it is, guys, the Santa Catalina Arch. This is a very famous arch. Here it is up close. This arch is very special, guys. This is a major symbol of Antigua, Guatemala. I believe the original arch itself was built in the 1600s, and then the large clock up there was actually put in the 1800s, and it's been there ever since. This arch is very special, and it was originally made to cross the street from above. Alrighty, guys, here we are at one of Guatemala's historic convents here in Antigua. So what this is basically a location where the nuns were required to live back in the day. This is where they were required to live and where they resided at this location. Here we are in the central court. As you can see, there's a nice courtyard with a fountain behind me. The architecture here has just been quite unique and really, really cool, seeing a mix of a little bit of decay with areas that are still used and shown to people. It's a really, really cool sensation and feeling. These ceilings are just incredible. The detail in here is insane. All that decay around the door. thing, and then there's a very nice loft or balcony area up there too. Well guys, as I was saying, it looks like there is definitely something underground at this location. Sounds like we have a burial crypt to explore. Let's go ahead and head on in. You can feel that cold air immediately. There's a draft in here. Quite a heavy draft. Here are the ancient bathtubs. This is a very ancient bathhouse. That is cool. Look at those. It's built right into the stonework on the floor. Look at this, like, water system. That is neat. Looks like water would have gone down into here, into these tunnels. These here were the rooms that the nuns actually stayed in. So these were their little residences. I don't know how many of them would have stayed in each room. But then if you take a look out here, having a beautiful view like this would probably make up for the fact that the room was so tiny. This is fascinating. I love gardening, and I love areas that look landscaped. I just love the landscaping out here. It's beautiful. I'm gonna do some research, guys, but I'm thinking this could have been some sort of a ventilation system, possibly for heat. Because obviously here you've got your grate that goes down, and this goes down into a shaft. And then if you go up, it looks like this continues up and rises out through a chimney or smokestack. Alrighty, well, I was wrong on that. My first guess was in fact correct. So these are latrines, as I was saying. Again, that makes complete sense, having the system down below here, the system of tunnels, and then having some ventilation above. That makes total sense. Here it looks like I'm thinking we have a restored room, so I think this is what the rooms would have looked like. You can see the layout with the cupboards and shelves right there, and then the latrine would be over there to the right, and right over you can see where they can pray. And I'm not entirely sure if these were residences or prayer rooms or a bit of both. I think they'd have those separated. Here is the basement level. This is a nice stairway in. This is a pretty long way. Oh wow, the echo in here is crazy. So this is directly under the rotunda, what everything would look like, directly under that circular area where all of the dwellings were. This is a neat chamber down here. This glass pane was definitely replaced. Here's a nice view of the upper level. No guard railings or anything, just a straight edge. That location was incredible. That was definitely a beautiful place. Seeing that mix of natural decay and also areas that had been restored and taken care of was cool. A place that felt abandoned but also felt so well loved. That was a very, very neat location there. It's crazy to think that the nuns used to live there. They actually signed up and signed in to live there permanently, so that's really neat. Now we're gonna grab some lunch and then we're gonna continue to explore around Antigua and see what else, because there is definitely a lot of stuff that we still have to cover. Here's a quick view from the top of the restaurant we're eating at. We're just casually up here on the balcony. Got a beautiful courtyard below, but then if you take a look up at the balcony there, you can see a really nice view of the hillside, all of the jungle and forest up there, as well as the street heading up the hill. Now that is a volcano. There are volcanoes all around here. Alrighty guys, here we are at another convent. I do apologize for the echo in here, but here we are at another one of these convents, a location where the nuns would live back in the day. They would voluntarily come in here and basically live here. This is another one, and in here we have some underground crypts. We also have catacombs, burial chambers, all sorts of neat stuff. This one is even larger than the last one that I showed earlier in the video, so I'm super hyped to show it all to you guys. Got another truck out there backfiring as they're trying to start it up. You'll hear a lot of that in Guatemala. It's just their vehicles backfiring, I believe. But take a look in here, guys. This is more of, again, a museum. The scenery at these locations is so beautiful. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just very surreal. It feels like a secret garden because all of the garden areas and courtyard areas obviously are enclosed, as would make sense for this type of architecture, but it just makes everything feel like such a surreal, beautiful garden. And thanks to all of the rain that they get here, everything is nice and green and bright. What a beautiful spot to host a wedding. Restoring these sites is no small effort. It takes a lot of time and work, and obviously they also have to be very careful with the demolition that they do to the original structures out here, because you don't want to be demolishing and damaging things that have this type of historical value. So they have to be very careful to preserve as much as they possibly can without having to break stuff up. This is a neat, large area in here. This is quite a good sized room. With modern construction, you just don't get the ceiling height you used to, even in a lot of very elegant places, it seems like. This is a large, large area here. Wow. Wow. That is so neat. This area is just amazing. Enough of the detail was preserved that you can actually see the way the architecture would have been back in the day. Obviously, these probably would have been murals or glass or something very special and beautiful up there in the sky back in the day. And then I'm sure that a lot of this stone would have been plastered. Honestly, though, the exposed stone looks amazing. This is quite intriguing. Here's one of the catacombs or burial chambers. This is neat, guys. So this is a burial chamber where people would have been actually buried. What a neat hallway. Got an ancient form of skylights in the form of like a little belfry thingy up there. Here's another one of the burial chambers. Here's the pulpit, guys. Here is where they would preach from. Right on this platform here is where they would preach. From this shot, we can see the volcano pretty well. I've gone ahead and plugged in some manual camera settings that let us really see that volcano right there behind us. Here's another just incredibly detailed church. We are back to our room now, guys, and as we walked in, look at what we were greeted by. Room service came here, and while they came in here, they also created this swan. As you can see there's the top of a bird of paradise plant, and then it looks like they actually used parts of the plant to create this little swan out of bath towels. That is really neat. Alrighty, we're now heading back into town. We're gonna go ahead and visit the local market and get ourselves some water and groceries. And then after that, we might go ahead and visit some sort of a phone shop or something and see if we can get one of our devices hooked up to service here with a SIM card or something along those lines so that we can actually have some cellular service and communicate. Here's the bus, you want to get on? Alright, we're going to try to get a SIM card here. Maybe they'll have one, maybe they won't. We've got cars coming through and everything. All right, good morning, guys. It's another morning. I know this intro looks identical to the last one for today, but today we're gonna be heading out, we're gonna be seeing some Mayan basket weaving. We're gonna be going and seeing their fascinating ancient culture that they still carry on to this day, and I'm really looking forward to that. It's always cool to go back and see history alive still. And then today, the big thing, we're gonna be going horseback riding up a volcano. We're gonna be going up the big volcano. I believe it's the one directly back there that was actually flaming and had a small eruption going that first night we arrived here that I filmed it. Guys, it's definitely going to be pretty crazy here, but I think today is going to be a pretty fun day. This is going to be one of the crazier things we've done on this vacation so far. I think we're going to have some fun. Alrighty guys, so somehow any of you didn't get the memo. We are currently standing on an active volcano at the moment here. By the way, all of this fog you see moving around me isn't smoke from the volcano. These are just clouds because we're up high enough and it's a humid enough day that there just happen to be clouds out here in the hills. Nonetheless, so I think it still does look pretty cool. And I do feel some heat radiating in certain areas near the ground. So this is legit stuff. Getting even better now. An interesting color change in the ground. And I do feel a difference in temperature. It is much warmer in this little area around here. Look at these like vents. I guess these are geothermal vents. Alrighty guys, this is definitely a geothermal vent. That is down deep in there. Look at that. You can just see the bottom of that. When I was told that we were going up to a volcano and that we were going to actually ride up to it, I wasn't entirely sure just how cool it was going to be or whether we were just heading down to the base and what we'd actually see. But it's definitely clear that this is the real deal and this is a volcano. All the clouds and fog make it very hard to tell what's going on here. But yeah, this is a volcano. This whole area is like a volcanic wasteland out here. Alrighty, let's roast some marshmallows on top of a volcano here. Interesting. So this is a combination of heat from the vent itself and then coals that have been put here. There we go. Did something. Well guys, that was quite the ride, let me say. Very interesting. I really, again, just wasn't sure what to think. I really didn't expect it to be that crazy or cool and to be that close to where it seriously looked like a volcanic wasteland. I mean, how many people can say that they've roasted marshmallows in a geothermal vent on top of a volcano? That is a pretty special thing to be able to say. So it was a very fun ride, very interesting ride. The camera got absolutely dusted and everything is just a mess. So I've got to go wash all my gear off because it just got crazy, crazy dusty. Got some light tonight. Oldie but a goodie. That is nice. That is a nice Datsun. Okay guys, we just had a nice breakfast at a coffee shop, played a little ping pong there and showed off my horrible skills, but it was still pretty fun. Now we're gonna go ahead and look around town and we're gonna go see some more of those churches that I told you guys about earlier in the video, and we're gonna have a great time. The owner of this truck is adamant on the fact that everyone knows exactly what he's got. Alrighty guys, welcome to Convent Santo Domingo. This is another old convent, and this one, if you can notice, things are a bit different here. There are restaurants around me, nice courtyards, fountains running. This one has been turned into a hotel, and nowadays is actually used as a fully servicing hotel, which is really neat to see the place completely alive and in use to this day. The views, scenery, and architecture here is still just as fabulous as all of the other locations that we've already been to. It is a beautiful place. Got another setup for a wedding going on here. That's a very common theme. Wow, it looks like these ruins are now incorporated into the pool area. That's a really neat idea. Here's more old incorporated into new. A really neat idea that they have followed through with extremely well. Righty guys, here is a crypt for this convent. Well, look at that, the lights come on automatically. That is nice. This is cool. This is the best crypt that I've seen so far. Oh, look at that. They actually left the burials in here. That is very neat. This is very neat in here. Wow, guys, these are the absolute oldest remains they found, and so they actually pulled them out of the ground over on the other side and put them over here in the far back corner. These are all real remains, guys. This is the real deal. Here are more steps covered in glass, again covering up an original crypt entrance from the 17th century. So this was back in the 1600s and is over 400 years old. I just noticed these additional details up above the entryway. Beautiful. That is a nice looking mosaic, very old. This silver is beautiful too. Here we got another crypt entranceway. This is the new staircase they put in so that we don't have to walk over the original stone ones, which would wear them out. Here we go. Here's some glass over the burial itself. Look at that. Full burial site. Still here. Wow, guys, this paint on the walls looks to be the original, like 400-year-old paint that the ruins originally had. That is the original paint, I believe. That paint is like 400 years old. So far, this location is proving to be quite amazing, guys. I can see why everything online said that this place would take about half a day to really enjoy and explore, and it really does seem like it would in order to really see everything. So far, we've gone down into a lot of the crypts, we've seen a lot of the museums, and I did a quick little full shoot in that art museum that I just showed you guys. Now we're gonna be paying to get into the silver museum, which I'm not entirely sure what it's gonna be like, but silver is pretty cool, so I think it's gonna be neat. The museum itself is actually below grade, and we're standing on top of it right now. It's a fully subterranean museum, so I'm not honestly sure of the size, but I think it'll be neat to check out. Alrighty, we are heading below grade. These are some nice crowns to be adorned with. The silver just glistens so much. This is where we're going to eat. This is a pretty cool restaurant inside of these ruins. This is very unique. I guess you'd call this an art fixture, some type of a piece of art, very abstract. I guess this is like history of the woman in the photo above, but if you look at the photo more closely, you can see that it turns into like a mirror. If I pull it away, it's just her. And when I come back in again, it's like a mirror. This is neat, guys. They give you a flag on your table based on your nationality and where you are coming from if you're traveling. That's pretty cool. This candle up here is also neat. They came and just set that up. That is not how you cut bread. Alrighty guys, well that was a nice lunch, and seeing Santo Domingo was definitely really cool. Enjoyed that a lot. I can definitely see why people say that it really does take half a day to really fully explore it. And now we're just not really sure what to do, so we're just out here in town walking around looking for things that are interesting to take a look at. This room would have looked incredible back in the day. I can't imagine how beautiful this place would have looked back in here. Let's take a look down here. So yeah, this is just another crypt, it looks like. Here we got some active restoration going on. You can see the setup here, the support structure of beams they're using to rebuild all of the stonework and brickwork up there where the domes once were. There's another incredible structure out there. That looks like a dangerous job up there. Alrighty, never mind. There is a full structure behind that arch, but still, it gotta be a very scary job. One slip, especially working with all that water. Wow, guys. Here we have some before photos. So in all the clips where I was showing all of the workmen getting things done and working to restore the place, here you can see what it looked like as they were working earlier and kind of before they started. This was this courtyard area, and this is what they've done to it now. It's the same area. You can already see kind of all that work that was put in. Looks like the Scouts of Guatemala are doing a project on this too. Absolutely beautiful. Wow, La Merced is proving to be a very beautiful location. I'm so glad that we paid the money to get in here. First seeing the main cathedral zone down below, the detail in there is incredible. It really is one of those things that most people only get to see on the internet. Super, super beautiful. And then back here towards the courtyard and the more common areas and offices, it's also quite astonishing. Even over here, they still did a few details, and there is still some detailing on the structure itself. The views this location and this deck area up here offers are also amazing. The courtyard's directly behind down there, and then out through here you could just see the volcano, the mountains, and the whole rest of the town. Quiet. Alrighty guys, it is a nice evening tonight. We're gonna be heading out back into town where there's some hubbub going on, and we're gonna go car spotting and just take a look and see all the cool stuff going on. Because honestly, there is a little bit of a vehicle community out here, and you see some unique stuff compared to what I'm used to back in the States. That is a nice chicken bus. We got some nice flames on there. That would have been fun. Alrighty guys, we just took the Abishu pigeon in real life right here. The famous pigeon from BeamNG. That is awesome. That is just incredible. Alrighty guys, today was a very, very nice day. It's actually almost 9 o'clock in the evening now, so it's getting quite late. I'm getting ready to head back in and go to sleep, but I just wanted to quickly sum things up for you. Today was definitely one of my favorite days of the entire trip. There's another firework going off, but as I was saying, today was definitely one of my favorite days of this entire trip. Some of those locations that we saw today really just put me in awe and humbled me quite a bit, seeing the beauty that people used to create and knowing what we've done in the past in terms of building things and just detailing structures to the absolute max. I also really enjoyed going out vehicle spotting this evening out here and just taking a look and seeing all the hubbub going on in the town. I've enjoyed doing that every evening and getting you guys some cool clips of all those really neat chicken buses. Those crazy buses with all the colorful lights and neat paint jobs are actually called chicken buses out here in Guatemala, and they drive around and they're actually just regular public transit buses. A lot of those diesel engines have modified exhaust, so they sound really wicked and just look amazing in the evening. A lot of people out here also don't realize that Guatemala does have a little bit of an interesting car culture, so you do see some pretty unique vehicles out here, especially compared to what I'm used to back in the United States. In addition to that, guys, to sum it all up and end the evening, well, I got to ride home in a real-life version of the Abishu Pigeon, the famous three-wheeled tricycle-type truck vehicle from BeamNG Drive. Out here in Guatemala, they actually call them tuk-tuks, and they're just those little tricycle vehicles. If you played BeamNG Drive, then you know what I'm talking about when I reference the pigeon, but they were really, really cool. My hand's actually getting really tired holding this camera, and I think it's about time to charge up these batteries because I believe we're heading out to the lake tomorrow, and I really, really, really want to make sure that I have sufficient battery on the camera to get some incredible shots there tomorrow. So I will see you guys in the morning.